Hiya, can we have a chat? We talked last year, didn't we? Can we have a chat again? I've got different microphones this year.
Oh, right.
Can I hold them up? So, hello, we are streaming live, and for those who are on last year, can we just pop that somewhere onto you? I don't want to... Well, should we just clip it there? That should... Sorry, accosting you there. There we go, should better. If you just talk normally, that should be able to hear.
Is it alright? Not covered?
Yeah, that's it. So, can you tell us your name?
My name is Una Windweaver, so we're here at York at the Viking Festival, and one of the main things I do is I'm showing people the colour that they would have had in the Dark Ages. So it was very, very colourful. These are all plant dyed, so we've got things that have deep wool. It's all white Shetland wool, but this has been dyed in a moss from Scotland, which we get the shocking greens. Then we get dyed in weld, which is a flower plant that's yellow, and we get these
beautiful
colours.
So it's certainly not the dull ages, is it? It might be the
No,
dark
it's
age.
really,
So it's
really
early
bright.
medieval period, as we might kind of describe it.
It is. But obviously, the people who would be wearing most of these colours would have been wealthy people.
Yeah.
So I look wealthy because I'm selling this stuff and trading in dyes. And
so let's start. So what is this? This is wool, is it, that's worked into?
It's wool that's been spun. I mean, they would have drop spun this, but this is a spun wool.
Yeah.
And then it would have been put in. I put this in a big cauldron, as I've got one of these, to boil with the moss that was my friend sent me, and left it overnight. Then took it out in the next day, and it just blew.
So will any moss do that, or is that a specific particular moss?
It was this one I got from Scotland. I haven't tried any moss anywhere at the moment, but you can usually get sort of a yellowy tone or a greeny tone from the mosses and stuff. And then all the orange colours I've done from the madder, and with the madder I've got used.
So how do we kind of know then that these are broadly representative of the colours that would have been used at the time?
In York the Coppergate sock, the York sock, which around the edge, I mean it's so tiny, the stitching, it's beautiful, but around the edge they've got a reddish colour.
Yes.
So they know that we're using a madder or something to decorate the top of the sock itself. So you can see that in the archaeology piece in the museum.
So a pretty high degree of confidence that were very much in the same sort of colour palettes as they would have been.
Yes.
And then of course it's about utilising those same natural materials to replicate.
That's it. Yes. Yeah. So I mean we've got wool, and we do the thinner wools, which would have been used for the embroidery and things like that. So you've got the finer wools, which again this has been dyed with woad.
So the woad colours are very famous, isn't it? The indigo sort of blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean that was still used, wasn't it? The indigo colours right up until in textiles until quite recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the indigo wasn't as much in the colder countries. It was more of an Arabic time colour that came over later.
Yeah.
But no, we definitely had the woad because we know in France.
So is it because obviously you're a crafter as well? We're going to talk a little bit in a moment about your crafting. Is it much easier to work then with this sort of thinner? So Christine, what's here about the needles? We'll come to in just one moment, Christine from Michigan. So I'm guessing, is it easier then to work on these sort of thinner? Threads or is there a different reason?
I dye these because I like doing embroidery. Also, you can see the wool thing. I've got that's been done in wool and silk.
So can you kind of show us? Obviously, you've got a bunch of needles over here.
Yep, I can show you.
And they appear to be of kind of different sizes, slightly different lengths.
Yes, sure.
Can you tell us a bit about those?
Yeah, this is a textile way of using wool that predates knitting and crochet, and it's not knitting or crochet, it's called Nalbinding.
Nalbinding,
yeah. And what this is, it uses a single needle, which can be made of bone, wool, iron, horn, whatever you want. But what it does is it has a technique where we pick stitches up.
Yeah.
It works on the pad of the thumb.
Yeah.
We take that loop off, pull this working thread through, and as you can see, it shuttles down the back of the thumb, and
it's like a herringbone stitch, isn't it?
This is the mammon stitch, and it creates each stitch creates a different type of pattern. I've done the Oslo stitch, which you can see is more like a dot and a line there, and this I've changed into the mammon. And these stitches, basically, I think the names, I'm not 100% sure, but I think because of the archaeology bits that have been found, we've got this stitch is called the Oslo stitch. That was found in Oslo, and then we've got bits of archaeology found in Mammon in Sweden. So
is all this Nalbinding, or is Nalbinding just one part of what you do?
Nilebinding.
Sorry.
There are so many stitches. It's
and that's the spelling
there.
here.
We've got Nilebinding. Yeah. So you can see here we've got ones like, again, I've put the notation that's the Oslo stitch, which you can see.
Oslo stitch, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got the Mammon stitch, which is the next one up, and we go to a Broden stitch, and then down to what we've got here, the Raisa stitch, which you're picking up 2 and 2 stitches, and then the Takula, and that one. That's the Ilski, that's one from Scotland who we found.
So Trish from Philadelphia saying she's tried this but found it very difficult. So she wants to start again. Okay. So have you got some inspiring words?
Yeah, don't give up.
No. There you go, Trish. Don't give up, and one day you might.
That's it.
So what are you working on now? Is this like a scarf, or what are we?
This is what I've just done here. I would suggest just do the Oslo stitch first, and once you've got that, you can do everything as well.
So start with Oslo. So that was this first one over here, wasn't it?
That's the first one there. That's
that
one. Start
and that's what you were just demonstrating to us there, isn't it? So
yes.
You're sort of creating like a loop over, aren't you, as you go? It's almost like a blanket stitch, sort of similar, like pulling it over the top.
You could call it like a blanket stitch, except it's working off the back of the thumb.
Yeah.
Instead of like if I'd just doing the blanket knot stitch. But this I started about 2 days ago, and I've just been working up and down, trying to show the colours, the weld, the woad, and the madder, how they would have looked with a piece of wool.
And will it make a difference which of the needles you choose, or is it just your preference?
It does. I mean, I'm using this one, but the thicker the needle you have, the thicker one you have, the bigger knot you will make, so it will be easy to see what you're doing if you're using a bigger needle or a thicker needle.
And do they wear down over time? I think I remember you telling me this, don't you?
This has gone quite shiny, as you can see. See there, it's a bit glossy.
So do you find your favourite needles that you work with the best?
Yes, I use them, and then they decide to snap eventually, or I sit on it or break it or something somewhere. But then I've found that I keep the little top bits, and I'm making them into a necklace. So.
And just tell us a bit about your costume then, because let me just move back a little bit, because just to kind of get you in full. It is a remarkable
thank you.
costume. So it looks like wherever you are, you're somewhere cold. You're all kind of wrapped up on you.
Come from
So tell us about your layers. What have we got here? We've got
here I've got 2 layers on of linen, so actually I've got what they call an underkirtle.
That's fair enough.
That's it.
Kids on the show.
It's the whole dress. It covers everything from top to bottom.
Yes, that's a linen, basically.
Yeah, that's a linen one, which is the overkirtle, which is that one. And then I'll just take this off. That's a craft bag. And then what I've got on here is what they call a hanger rock, which is made of wool.
Yep.
Wool at the front, and then I've got an embroidered panel here, which is I took that off the Stave Church in Norway.
Beautiful.
Where they've got some dragons. That's done in wool for there, and a bit of silk around the edge.
And would you have pockets? What would you carry your stuff in?
I haven't got any pockets. What you usually have is a little bag which I hang on the side, but I haven't got that on, and I've got this neck bag which I put little needles in.
So bits and bobs, and you carry those around, And then this metal work.
This is turtle brooches. This is what we found as archaeology pieces, where the ladies would have hung these things of either copper wires or leather, and then put jewels that you collect, because we are quite. Don't like magpies. We like to collect beads and things. So,
and would any of these signify status then in kind of society? Would this mark you down as sort of an affluent lady of married somebody well-to-do?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to portraying, because that gives me the ability to do the fabrics and wear the colours.
Yes,
because it's showing. I mean, I wouldn't have been probably wearing all this as the person who made all this, but I'm just trying to show people what a rich person would have worn.
Yes.
Back in the day. So it's, the colours and everything are all, the blues and the natural colours.
So people lower down in society might not have the same colours, they might have the same materials.
Or the same amount of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yes.
And are these earrings are coming off your head, just I can't quite tell.
I've got some little ones. These are just.
No, I was looking at this gold. I see.
These are temple rings.
Temple rings.
These are temple rings. I think these were found in graves as well, near ladies' heads, and they're still debating what they were about. But I like to think that they were, wearing them like the Slavic type way of hanging your jewellery, like earrings.
It does have a sort of whole Russian look, Slavic look. I think your whole ensemble.
They're not 100% sure whether they had earrings in or not, but they do seem to find these around the ear area.
Yeah.
So they could have been earrings, but I put them on this because people tend to say we don't want earrings.
A bit heavy, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they would have either sewn them on a hat type thing, or this is a cap I've made. Cap.
Oh, I see. So you've got like a skull cap on as well,
cap,
yeah. And then the outer, and the little crowners almost on the top.
I've got little beads on there, little silver.
That's fantastic. That's like a sheepskin, is it?
That's a sheep, and that's I think that's a wolf on that one. A wolf trim.
I'm just asking to get pictures, so I'll just move back there. Listen, that is fabulous. Thank you so much for being so generous with your kind of time. I'll just grab that microphone back.
Sorry. Yep.
And of course, your pin as well, your cloak pin as well. That's again, that's something that pretty much all the Vikings would wear, wouldn't it? Yeah.
This one's a silver one. This one's
and what are they? Leopard's heads?
Two wolves.
Wolves' heads.
I collect wolves.
Thank you so much. Lovely talking to you again.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.